Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the IA Lab Report comment bank. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how I use these stock comments to speed up my marking process, but also to be consistent in how I provide feedback and to provide the best quality feedback that's actually useful. So let me go across to the document and you'll see that we have a grid of comments that I've made 23 different areas that you might want to comment on. I don't actually comment on all 23 areas for every lab report, although you might want to. I usually leave about 10 or 15 comments per lab report. And you can see here that the different skills to be addressed are identified at the top. So introducing the topic, explaining the scientific context, making the topic relevant to the real world, writing a research question, etc. You scroll down on the pro version, you'll see that there are 23 areas to be commented on. So let me just bring up an example of some work that I might want to comment on. I've got here a academic research paper from Gregory E. P. PhD. I will include a full link to this article below the video, but I'm just going to use this as an example of how I would provide feedback. So what I'll do is I will first of all click at the top of your Word and you'll see where it's got review and a place to put comments. So I'll read through this and I'll see, okay, the student has talked about exercise and fatigue and then begins to talk about DOMS being an issue within science, within sports science. So I know this article is going to be about DOMS and how to relieve it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this area here. I'm going to add a comment. But instead of me fumbling around trying to work out how exactly do I word exactly what I want to say, I go across to the comment bank and I use it to guide my own feedback. So I'm going to comment on introducing the topic and I start at the best end of the feedback and I say, has this student introduced the topic to be investigated by citing facts and statistics that demonstrate the significance of the chosen dependent variable in a sporting context in this case. And yes, they have. Well, I would expect them to, as it is a peer-reviewed article. So I'm just going to copy that comment because they've done this well. They don't actually have anything else to do on this comment. I'm going to go back to the document and I'm just going to paste it here. Well done, you've done that well. Now, if this was a practice IA, for example, the student would want to know what they've done well so that they can replicate that in future. Let me scroll down here. It says in athletic performance, DOMS can have negative consequences. So this is making it relevant to the real world and actually see that if we have DOMS, then we don't have as much sprint power, jump height, drop jump, all of these different things. This is relevance to the real world, and I can start to deduce how this will be useful, how the results of this experiment are useful in the real world. So let me go back to my feedback and see you've demonstrated the relevance of this investigation by stating how the results could be useful to improve sporting performance. I'm going to copy that comment, go back to my feedback. In terms of athletic performance, look at it right there, and I'm going to just click comment again. You've done that well. All right, I'll show you one more example like this. Massage is an intervention technique. Okay, so this now they're going to go on to talk about massage and foam rolling, and there's a lack of information, and that's why this investigation is necessary. But let's just say they hadn't done this bit particularly well. Right, let's say they hadn't introduced the independent variable very well, and that was just missing from this report. Of course they have because they're professionals, but let's say that was all missing. I'm just deleting it here, and they haven't really done that very well. So what I'm going to do is go across to my comment bank, and I'm going to go over to where it says explaining the scientific context. So for this skill, what the student should be doing is explaining the link between the independent variable and the dependent variable. So in this article, it's the link between foam rolling and DOMS. So let's go back to the title. It's about foam rolling and DOMS, and they haven't actually talked about massage or how foam rolling is supposed to help. Well, I've just deleted it. So what I'm going to do is go over to here and say, you have not provided sufficiently detailed explanation of the link between the chosen dependent variable and independent variable. Now, you don't have to write down what their independent and dependent variable is. They should be able to do that. If they can't, and you have to tell them, then that would amount to you doing their IA. So as far as I'm concerned, if they don't know what their independent and dependent variable are, they've got bigger problems. And I'm not going to word all of that for them. So I'm not going to say, for example, you must explain to me the link between foam rolling and DOMs. That's their job. So there's my feedback. We scroll across a bit there so you can see. There it is. Now that is enough feedback for them to be able to say, okay, what do I need to go and change? If you're having to give more specific detail than this, you're extending the student work beyond what they're actually capable of doing, and I don't think that level of detail is required. This is the type of feedback that I've provided in the past. It makes a huge difference to the actual attainment that the students reach, and I've been given good feedback from the IB on the comments that I'm leaving, and it does help to guide the the marking of the IA. Okay, thank you.